Both of those numbers down 12% year over year. It was the most viewed game of the inaugural 12-team expanded playoff, most watched non-NFL sports event in the past year.
Yeah, everybody's overthinking this too, because of course the reaction online is, why? There was 3 million fewer people than last year. Why? An inauguration. Don't overthink it. A lot of casual viewers.
Everybody wanted to see what Melania was wearing to the Starlight Ball.
We're occupied with something else. It's not that deep. I don't know. Sometimes there's a deeper conversation to be had, like the NBA's viewership issues. It's bad, regardless of what Adam Silver says about social media consumption. Buddy, that's not good. They're watching our highlights on Twitter and Instagram. They're not watching your games. This is a lot more black and white, cut and dry. There are people that would have watched football on Monday night if there was not the inauguration of a new president / old president. But you get my point.
Yeah, but
literally and figuratively.
In fairness, though, the inauguration was long over. You were watching coverage of the balls and the spin.
You've been watching TV all day. At some point, you're like, all right, I got to turn this off.
But a lot of people watch that too. You know, people do work and they get home. And
I did after the game.
Football game that have two teams that I'm not emotionally invested in, or my first chance to watch inauguration coverage. And a lot of casual people go that direction. I don't think it's a crisis or whatever. It's the season broke records all over the place. Everywhere. College game day broke records. It was that.
Yeah.
The playoff does take too long. That I can get on board with.
So you move the season up a week. I suppose you could also, I know it changes based on how the calendar falls, but theoretically you could go to just one open date instead of two. And if you move the season up a week and pulled an open date, then in that scenario you could shave 2 weeks.
But do you even need to do the open thing? Because in the NFL they go right into the playoffs. What was the date of Rivalry Saturday? What was that date?
November 30th.
November 30th.
Very easy day for me to remember.
Okay.
Mr. Hadid's 50th birthday.
In the national
49th.
I know.
From the final regular season game to the crowning of the national champion was 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
It took 2 months to do that.
When you think about the NFL, when their regular season ends, there's playoff games every weekend until they get to the Super Bowl, and they have 1 weekend off, and then they're good to go.
And I'm not sure you need a week off between the championship games and the Super Bowl.
You don't.
That's a corporate decision.
They milk it for coverage.
Yeah. But, with this, it was just such a layoff. And I also think, I think seeing those home games, maybe the rest of the way the neutral sites, tamp down a little bit of interest, because it was so cool to see those home games. And then you're back in that sterile corporate bowl game environment.
Yeah. And I know you guys advocated for just screw them. Yeah. That's basically what I heard you say one day with regard to the bowl games.
Yeah,
like the playoff bowl games.
We just said you could keep everything. Just the bowl games go to the site. You have the All-State Sugar Bowl live from Bryant-Denny Stadium.
I guess a lot of that has to do with the money that they raise for charities in the local communities.
That's fine. They can still donate money. Allstate Insurance got enough money to donate some to New Orleans. I promise you. We had a texter going back and forth with us saying that it's about all the corporate guys come down to New Orleans for a vacation. Well, they can still go on vacation in New Orleans and just not have a football game to watch. It'll be all right. Plenty of good stuff going on in New Orleans.
Are we really going to forsake college football because Allstate needs to take their partners on a
so
New
their
Orleans
drunk
trip?
VP can get up there and go, "Gonna congratulate Alabama." What are we doing?
Which is one of the better corporate things they've said recently.
Yeah, well, So anyway, I don't know the way around that, but I'm the most diehard college football fan we're going to find here, and even I was like, this is taking forever.
I would be okay with semifinals and championship game at traditional bowl sites, but everything up until those last 2 rounds is on campus.
And maybe there's your compromise, right?
Yeah, you could do that. And look,
And you rotate between the rose, the sugar, the orange, and the Fiesta, like we used to with the semifinals.
I want the cotton in there over the Fiesta.
Well, the cotton and the peach. Then I mean, maybe you go all 6 of them.
What you do is you can rotate through them, and then if the Peach Bowl one year has to be the highest rated playoff team that didn't make the playoffs.
Alabama, Michigan this year.
If the Peach Bowl is Alabama, Michigan this year, are the people at the Peach Bowl really complaining? And knowing that next year, hey, you'll be back in the rotation, no one's complaining.
Ohio State played a home playoff game in 2 bowl games and the national championship. They played 2 bowl games.
And just hear me out. When the TV deal runs out and it's got to be redone, and we've got 1 year left on it.
Mm-hmm.
What if you just said to the orange, sugar, peach, rose, Fiesta, and cotton, this is what we're going to do.
Yes.
I understand that you may not like this, but this is what we are going to do. This is how it's going to work. You are welcome to opt in. And if you choose to opt out, that is your decision. But this is what we are going to do. This is not a debate club. We don't need you to lobby us. We don't need to try and change our minds. This is how it's going to happen.
How quickly are the Citrus Bowl and Music City and they're preparing their bids to try to get in?
Oh, and Nashville's
new stadium in Nashville?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How quickly is the Pop-Tarts Bowl, the Alamo Bowl, trying to get in on this? I mean, you would have a line out the door.
Yeah, and I think I think you could really approach it that way and say, this is how it's going to be. We'll give you 10 days to talk about it internally with your people. If you need the 10 days, you can opt in or you can opt out. Wait, but that's not, no, not debate club.
Yeah.
This is how it is going to be. We're going to go on a 3-year rotation with the semifinals. There will be 6 spots. If you choose to opt out, which means you don't tell us yes in the next 10 days, then we will open it up to bidding to other bowl games. Problem solved.
And so why... What's stopping them from doing that? Maybe just the opportunity hasn't presented itself yet.
I mean, I think it's relationships and the tradition, and you can still play your game.
No offense, the tradition's over. The tradition of big bowl games, it's over.
I like Caleb just got it right here. It's ridiculous that Notre Dame won 2 bowl game trophies, but not a national championship this season.
That makes it's
nonsense. That's the other thing too. Like having the whole. We're going to have the presentation of the bowl trophy and the confetti and everything. You haven't won anything. You just advanced in the playoffs.
When Washington beat Detroit in Detroit, what did they win?
Nothing.
A football game.
Yeah.
That's all they won. Now, they'll have an owner hang a banner or something because that appeases them, but that's all it was. And the message afterwards was not celebration. It was, we got to get back to work.
Yeah.
Got Philly next week.